what is the craziest or the strangest fan request you've received? Because as I see you now, you get fan. Boku.
The strangest fan request was a private session, a private performance session.
They say you should come for it.
Yes.
A guy or a girl?
In case you don't know,
I don't know.
if you're in the entertainment sector,
Explain.
you would see a lot of things, right? I try to the best of my ability that whenever I'm going for events, I wear my ring. But people don't even, they don't mind, right? And I'm like, okay, what is this going to be about? Can I get more details? He said, I'm paying you.
To come for
Yes. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I need to get the complete details.
Wow.
That is why you see Nollywood and other people who are public figures. Bro, somebody might want to pay you crazy money to do crazy things. Will you be able to say, I'm sorry, this does not resonate with my faith, is not my person?
No judgment here, just a friendly ear tuning. Every day bring your worries near. Life couch show, let the heartbeats flow. With Fade, we heal and grow. Life on the couch with Fade. Talk it all out, set your mind free. Life on the couch, stories we share. Fade.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Life Couch with Fade. Here we talk about things that happen to the everyday people with the aim that someone out there can relate with what we're doing here or what we're discussing and can pick a thing or two. We hope that you know from our discussions that there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's hope for you. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You will always be victorious. You can come out of it. It doesn't define you. That's what we're trying to say. Today, I have a very interesting guest. And I was just telling him, I was like, one Sam, one Calgary. Oh my God, I already revealed his name. So his name is Sam, but as I usually do, I will just hand you the ball and allow you to introduce yourself. Hello, Sam.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
First is first. I've watched this show a lot, and if you are not watching this show, you're missing out, because the nuggets that come from this show is something that can resonate with you. So please try and subscribe and share it to your friends, because honestly, it is something you should be a part of. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for saying
people
yes.
call me Sam Precious. Other group of people 2 years or 3 years ago started calling me Calgary's finest.
Hey.
But my real name that I love to be called goes Tos Sam Omojevu Orgeneseluo Precious Rollins Oborgene Lukohwo Amlewo Jiro Kedi Kede Koke Orgene Wiyoke Mona Jobi Ise. I am funny by birth. I am a public speaker, I'm a teacher, I'm a comedian, and I'm a master of ceremonies. I do red carpet holds, anything that involves talking to people. I'm a trainer. That's what I like to do. So thanks for having me.
Nice. Thank you for saying yes. We don't take what it took me to get this guy here. Hey, and right now he's giving me itinerary. I have to finish by this. He's out of here, blah, blah, blah. But I don't take this for granted. I reached out to him impromptu. Right, and he said yes. So thank you so much. If you can spell that name, and don't rewind this thing. If you can spell it, be truthful. Just spell it and put it in the comment section, and you'll get something. Make sure you don't rewind it before you spell it.
Feidi will give you a free ticket to my upcoming show.
Yes, I was at the show last year. Anyway, we'll get there. And we were just talking before we started rolling the camera, and he was asking me how long I've been here, and I told him I've been in Calgary for about 10 years. And Sam was telling me that he's been here 6 years. Sam is more popular than me.
5 years, actually.
Is it 5?
It's going to be 6 years by the 23rd of April.
Wow.
Which is about
He's almost here.
A month's time, yeah.
But like I said, there's a saying in Yoruba, one Sam one Calgary. This is it. You know, he's known, he's popular and everything. And one thing that he was saying is that my generation, those of us that came earlier, that were not hungry. Because, okay, I give it to the people that are coming in right now. I give it to them. I see the drive. I see, you know, the 35 to 40-year-olds. There's this thing. You see them everywhere at Calgary. Making hair, doing things, entrepreneurs, you know, like just making waves. And I was saying, wow, you guys are really doing. And he said, we are not hungry. Please, my generation, come for him.
Okay. Let me add more flesh to that.
Let me just say something
Okay.
before you add your flesh, because I don't want it to. I told him that we paved the way.
Yes.
Because of our own struggles. We made it easy for them. What do you guys think? Okay, add flesh to it.
When I say you guys are not hungry, I mean you guys came comfortable. You guys came with money. You guys came
Says who?
with a
Says
lot of
man.
with a lot of degrees, with a lot of steez.
Hey,
like you've
and
had
demure.
good jobs in Nigeria, bro.
Okay.
When I got COPR, or what do they call it, I started applying for jobs in Nigeria even before I came here. Like I was hungry. I knew that I can't be here and survive for 3 months without a job. And my pastor's wife was like, God bless the King of Glory Parish. And they were like, oh, just relax. You need some time to settle. I say, me. You be like, say, oh, no, say, now only me there abroad for my food generation. Right now. I need to hit the ground running.
I cannot laugh at beg.
And I was very fortunate, right? I landed on a Wednesday. The same week I landed, I got a job on a Saturday.
Wow.
Full time.
And was it one of those you applied for Nigeria?
No, I went for a job fair, actually.
Okay,
That's why I keep telling people. You know, last year at my comedy show, I wrote an article on my magazine talking about the power of collaboration. Guys, see, no matter how good you are, you cannot be everywhere. Somebody needs to mention your name in a room where you cannot enter.
True.
No matter how your connect is. Somebody puts up your picture on their status, just WhatsApp status. You may say, oh, the person has 200 followers on Instagram. Bro, that person may have more influence than somebody that has
True.
1 million followers.
I'm
because
telling
people
you.
respect people based on how many followers they have. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
My wife's friend came to Calgary to study, to do his master's. And he happens to be an Robo. My wife is from Agbo. And so his name is GV. So he came to the house. We're in Evanston. And he was like, hey, bro, so what do you want to do? I was a school administrator. That was my last job.
Okay.
I said, I want to teach. I've always been a teacher. My bachelor's in education.
I can see.
And guess what?
That's why you're not to talk.
The guy said, bro, the journey to becoming a teacher is long. Get
Wow.
a job to start paying your bills. I'm like, so what do you do? Guess what he told me?
What?
He said he's a carpenter. I'm like, bro, you came here to do masters in chemistry. You did bachelor's with my wife in Delsu in chemistry. So while she was doing her masters in Uniben in chemistry, he came here to do masters. So why carpentry? So he told me his own story and he's handy. And guess what? He prepared me for the interview, took me to the job fair, and
He prepared you for the
yes,
Wow.
and I got hired the same week I landed
As a teacher.
as a production worker
Okay.
in Atco. So it was a little bit of carpentry, drywall, flooring, but
Okay.
$26 an hour.
That's a lot.
Lots of overtime. You could work Monday to Sunday, and being hungry, I was going to work,
Ready.
bro, 10 hours, 12 hours shift, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
I feel that it is true. You guys paved the way, definitely. But do you know people that came? I met somebody at Urobo Isoko meeting who came 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, he has written class 7. He has done several things that I didn't do until like 6 or 8 weeks. Why? Because they are desperate. They are hungry. Like the hunger is there. And I just feel that I wish people would be more hungry when they come and
I think,
not be too relaxed.
I don't know, when I came, like I was telling you,
Yeah.
for example, to get into my industry, it was tough. Like I
Yes.
did interviews and I had to, I even posted this on my LinkedIn just this week. We had to go to a program where they would teach us how to 3 months in class, teaching us the Canadian culture and everything, and the other 3 months they placed us somewhere. That's how tough it was. I think things are opening up a little bit, and even the people here are relaxing. What I'm trying to say is, for example, my husband, where he worked at Superior, because he's so good. They all know he's good. They'll be asking him, "Do you know any Nigerian?" That is, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So the kind of thing that he's done has let them know that Nigerians
are competent.
They're good.
That's true.
Do you understand? So the kind of things, I remember even when I worked with Sears, somebody was like, "What do?" I said, "I do HR." The person worked with me, and the person was a retail, one of the attendants. And they were like, "All the Nigerians get the good jobs." So what I'm saying is, we are Nigerians and we have the drive. We have the drive, but things are opening up. The people here are, how do I say, they're even understanding that, okay, people coming from Africa are not, or anywhere in the world, I don't know, immigrants are not necessarily less than you
fruit
are.
Pickers and,
do you understand what
and laborers?
That we actually, so I won't say we didn't have the drive. And individually, the fact that you got a job that week, sometimes it's grace. It's grace as well. Right. Me, I didn't get my first job until maybe after a year. My husband got a job 2 months into our being here.
Wow.
Right. And I think it's because we did not even land here. We landed in Yukon. And if it was maybe a place like here, maybe it would have been earlier. Point I'm trying to make is sometimes you have grace. And I tell people your journey is different from someone else's.
That's
if
true.
you're comparing your journey with someone else's, but be determined. What do you want to do? Work towards it. You get it. And that's the beauty of a place like this.
Yeah.
Right? So, Sam, like you said, so today you said you're going to give us tips on how to do things outside of 9 to 5. Some of us are eager. We don't want to stick to this 9 to 5. We need extra money. How do we know? How do you even decide, okay, this is what I can do? And how do you juggle it? It can be tough.
Thank you. So one of the things I have been able to do in the 5 years plus I've been here, almost 6 years, is to look for areas of needs.
Yeah.
Right? Yesterday, I was speaking to someone and I said, I'm looking for investors. And they said, for what? And I shared the plan with the person. And the person said, how did you come up with this? And I said, look around you. There's so many children. There are so many children. So there's a need for a particular place. I won't spill the ball here because I don't want someone
I'll come and connect with you.
And I told the person, I said, that idea is not only for profit making alone, but also for job creation.
Yeah.
You go to churches, people are fasting, people are praying for jobs, but we have the ability to create jobs.
Yeah.
So one of the things I would love to share is look for areas of needs, right? And guys, you can have multiple streams of income. Sometimes people will be like, oh, I have a good job, so I really don't want extra stress. You can have that vision and someone else runs with the vision. I know of somebody that have businesses that himself and his wife, they never show up there. You won't even know.
That they
It was when I wanted to go into that kind of business that somebody said, one of my mentors said, call this number. Let him tell you how he got into it, right? And there's so many things we can do.
Yeah.
And people do not know, but I'm a first aid instructor. I do not have computer skills.
Okay.
Right? So even though people are teaching AI, doing this, doing that, that is not my strong suit. My strong point is talking. So I look for area of needs centered around talking to people. Some people are shy talking, but if you put me in a stadium, don't tell me what to do. Give me a microphone. I will look for something to talk about.
Say something.
Right? So I trained to become a first aid instructor. I trained to become a health and safety advisor.
Okay.
I trained also to become a public speaker, and you can join CAPS, Canadian Association of Public Speakers. I keep telling people, if you look for an area of need, try to be the very best at it. Why? If you're thinking that your market alone is going to be black people, you're going to fail. Right? Because most of the successful cut cut across different ethnicities. Right? Even though you may start with your group, do not be stuck
In there.
in there. So look for areas of needs. You won't believe it. We own a business where we make pap from scratch here in Calgary, myself and my wife.
Wow.
And guess the 2 workers in the company?
Who?
Myself and my wife. And guess what? That is one of the most profitable business we've done in Calgary. We've done several things, but that business gives us a good profit margin.
Wow.
But what did we do? We spoke to people who have been here 10, 15, 20
What
years,
do you need?
and we got the necessary licenses because like food handling costs, for example, you see someone just come to Canada after 2 weeks, the person is cooking and selling. I'm like, have you done your food handling course? Ask questions and look for areas of needs. And honestly, if you ask the right questions, your journey becomes faster. Something that may take you 15 years to achieve.
You take a few.
My real estate mentor is 10 years older than me, 10 years younger than me.
Wow. Okay.
And guess what? I
And
met
they're here
him.
in Calgary.
He's here in Calgary. I met him at my first job in 2019. And when the guy started talking about real estate, I'm like, bro, how did you know this? And he shared experiences from his uncles, his parents. And I'm like, wow, till today, he's Indian. He's of Indian heritage, but he was born here.
I respect Indians, honestly.
He's my mentor when it comes to real estate. There's nothing I would do when it comes to real estate. When I was about buying my first property, he was the first guy I talked to. He was like, okay, the neighborhood matters, closeness to the airport, so many other factors, right? So if you ask the right questions, honestly, you will always discover that there are so many opportunities
So how do you know
around
who to
you.
ask? That's the thing. So you learn to network.
That's one. Who do you ask? Because there are some people you will share some visions with, and they'll be like, "Oh, the money needed to start this business is too high." I'm not asking you to give me the money. Sometimes they will just pour water on your dream, right? So look for people around you that can inspire you. People that do not see beyond. People that see beyond where they are right now. In a few years, there may not be enough land in Calgary alone, right? Guess what? People are already doing land banking outside Calgary. And the first time I told somebody about land banking, the person was like, what is
I
land
was going to
banking?
say that. Is it land? Are you building bank on the land or you are banking the land somewhere?
So one of my mentors, Stephen Akintayo, was in Calgary recently, and I was the one that hosted the event. So he's into real estate, both commercial and residential. And guess what? When he thought about land banking, I'm like, I'm not buying another property again. The ones I have is okay. What should I start doing? People go out of town, maybe somewhere a little bit outskirts, buy 10 plots, leave it. In 20 years, in 15 years, they sell half, they use that half to develop. So talk
This
to
thing
people.
you're saying, you see this area? Just behind here, there's one guy, his house is like inside, you know that it's different.
Yeah.
Then he has like a hard road. My husband went to talk to him. That how, like what's going on here? And I said, he bought the whole, I don't know how you came, but the back, he bought the whole of that place when
It was like
this place was,
25,000 for a lot.
So all the houses that you see there, they
bought from him. Excellent.
So you can imagine what is in his bank account.
So honestly, as Africans, as Nigerians, as immigrants, we always come to Canada and we look for a job. It is true. Your first 5
Pay
years,
bills.
your first 10 years, look for a good job, stabilize. When you get to that 10 years mark, ask yourself, do I want to run this rat race for the rest of my life? I still haven't figured it out.
Sure.
Right? But after being here almost 6 years, I'm not looking for a better job anymore. Because people are always like, oh, I'm looking for a better job. Bro, tell me, among the 100 or 1,000 richest people in Canada, tell me who they work for. Most of them work for themselves. They use other people's money. They use other people's idea. They use other people's skills, right? If I cannot do what your videographer is doing, what do? I leverage on his skills and pay him to do what?
Job for you.
To help me, right? So I feel that we can do more if we ask the right questions, if we surround ourselves by great minds, and if we collaborate more.
Collaboration. And that's one area I think Nigerians, we need to come together.
Africans generally.
Well, I don't know how it is in other communities. I'm not really mixed with them, and I don't want them coming for me. But my Nigerians, I can still. It's something we have the brain, we have the drive,
Yeah.
you know. And I always say that Canada is still green if you compare. Even Calgary is really blowing up now,
it's
right?
it's running fast.
Compared to the US, that's saturated in a whole lot of things, but still there's opportunities.
Even the UK, where you don't have enough land, right?
But here, there's things that you can do.
That's true.
That's why sometimes you need to go out. You can't just sit in your house and expect things to come. Information is out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? For some, you were talking about somebody putting your status. You go out and they'll see you. You have, and then another thing is you have to be there for people. Attend people's events. Be there. Show up. They'll show up for you as well.
Don't
right?
give excuse of the weather. Yesterday at the event I went for, I got 2 jobs from that event.
Wow.
And guess what? One of them, I said yes to the person, but when I checked my calendar, I'm supposed to be in Edgery that weekend.
Oh my God.
And this person said, no, you need to come with us to Vancouver. And I said,
Let me do the everyone.
I have a policy. It is first come, first serve.
Oh yeah.
Even though you are paying me 10 times more, it has been my policy. I've been doing this for 19 years, right? So people know me for that. And I said, but this person happens to be a close friend.
Okay.
If I explain the circumstances to the person and the person says, Sam, send one of your boys or send somebody to do the job for me. I don't mind. I don't want you to miss the opportunity. Then yes. If not, I will stick on that.
But you have other colleagues that you could
Yes,
say, okay,
yes.
I have a colleague.
I have a lot of friends. I have
do the same
mentors. I have mentees. Right? There are some jobs that I cannot send somebody that haven't done this for up to 5 years to go and do, because it will be
Depends
too
on the
big for them. Right? So if it's something big, I have people above me that I can call and say, hey, bro, hey, sis, are you available for this? If it's something like for 40 people, for 50 people, I have mentees that I can say, okay, this is what you're doing.
Here.
Let's talk about it. I introduce them to the client. We jump on a Zoom call. Then I'll be like, okay, I believe this person will be able to deliver a good job.
Okay.
Right? So that's where collaboration comes in.
True.
Right.
True. Let's talk a little bit about your show. Because I was there I'd never been to that venue. I'm like, oh my God, this place is so big. If I do birthday, because I'm always to organize party or anything.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. You
try to avoid it.
Catch me to do it. Anyway, but I was like, if I ever do a party, this is where, like, very beautiful place. And I did enjoy myself. So what are we expecting this year?
So thank you so much for bringing that up. You know, this is going to be the 4th edition of my show.
4th?
Yes, the 4th.
Oh, I thought last year was a
No, the first year I had Aki of Aki and Popo.
Oh,
and
in Calgary?
In Calgary, and the Dawn.
How come I don't know?
The Dawn from Toronto.
Okay.
The second year I had Helen Paul, Mr. Patrick, and Elenu.
Okay.
Because I grew up with
Maybe
Elenu.
you were not my leader at that time.
So you see where information comes in, right? Then last year I had a cappella, MC Fantasy from the US, Sako, and a few other Grand Commander, my friend, and a few other guys, Fola, Isimeme, and some other guys. So this year, I feel that the 4th year should be my last stage of growth, because from next year I'm not going to be using that venue. It will not.
Have you been using that venue?
No, that's the first time I've used that venue. But from next year, I would have outgrown that venue, because the first 2 years I used one venue.
Okay.
The next 2 years I'm using this venue.
Okay. And then next
I'm
one,
praying and hoping that in the next 2 years, maybe God will do it and answer my prayers. I may even use my venue. That's the dream. Or maybe have good investors that would make the dream come to pass. But this year I'm having the king of Nigerian comedy. His name is Ali Baba.
Have you bought your tickets? Ali Baba is coming. Hey.
My other very good friend and brother, his name is Forever. I respect Forever so much, because as a believer, when you see people in the same entertainment circle with you doing great, Forever is one person that...
Is he based here?
No, he's not based here. But he's going to be here. His tickets have been booked and everything.
Nice.
And the Don is the king of comic stories. People do not know the Don enough. That's why I'm bringing him back. He came for the first edition. And so I'm bringing him back
is he
again.
Based here?
No, he's based in Toronto.
Okay.
So we're going to be having those 3 people. And
Nice.
people have been telling me, hey, Sam, are you not going to be giving platform like last year? I said last year, one of the feedbacks I got was some of the upcoming artists did not really give the audience what they wanted. So I said, okay, this year, I'm going to try my best to keep it A-list all through, right? So I'm sorry about that, but maybe next year I'll give 1 or 2 other people a platform. And also have a very wonderful Indian lady. She goes by Chika, which is a Nigerian name.
Okay.
You will hear the background story on that day. So it's going to be wonderful. There's going to be a band playing on that day also, event pro
Whose
band.
band is it? Hey.
That happens to be my wife's band.
And it was beautiful last year as
yeah,
well.
last year people were like,
good.
bro, you should give her more time. So this year she's going to have more time.
Multiple.
I've said 30 minutes. She's like, no, 45 minutes. I'm like, I can't
She
do
can't
more than
split
4
it.
hours, right? So,
Wow.
and I also have a few music artists, Koshera and one other guy.
See, he did not invite me. Such is life. But it's as well.
It's going to be loaded. And I'm hoping that by next year, I wouldn't have to be begging people to buy tickets anymore.
Hey,
because they
people
would they would be like, I've been there for 4 years and he has delivered for 4 years. So from the 5th year, I'll just put it out and say, okay, it's out there. Because right now, see, I'm having gray hair. I'm having wrinkles.
I know. See, I respect anybody that's doing this. Why? I don't even think I knew you. Was that 2 years ago or 3 years ago? I did one worship event. Hey, Jesus Christ.
Honestly,
Apart from the money, the
Yeah.
anxiety, the people, oh my God.
and people do
I've
not
not
know.
done it since.
People do not know how much you. When
not
I
easy.
when I told somebody that I've spent almost 20K already, the person said, for what? And I'm like,
People don't see it.
Alibaba doesn't fly regular. He flies premium economy. I should even be able to do something more than that, but that is the least I can do. And flights, hotel,
Crazy.
stage, venue,
Wow.
refreshment,
Wow.
because you need to commit to people even when you have not sold one single ticket. But honestly, a friend of mine, when I released the save the date flyer, she just bought 2 tickets.
Wow.
And I'm like, but you don't even know who is coming. Do you know what she said?
What?
She said, Sam, even if it's only you,
Is enough.
is enough. I will be there. You know,
Yeah.
people like that,
It's support.
they make you know that
The substance.
they see beyond who you are bringing.
Yeah.
They are coming to support your
You.
brand.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful that Calgarians, honestly, with a short time I've been here, I've been able, when I looked at my mailing
Support
list,
our own.
honestly, when I looked at my mailing list, I'm like, wow, people turn up,
Yeah.
right? And I'm
That
just
day,
so
the
grateful
whole
for
place
that.
was, at least the first that I attended.
Last year was 580
And I-
plus.
Wow.
And
I
this
enjoyed
year,
myself.
we're planning for 1,000 people.
I've not bought ticket. Well, I know I'm going to buy these tickets. I plan to.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
The number of tickets, there's still Yoruba Day.
Yes,
This one. Why
yeah,
try? And that's
yeah.
the thing. If you want to be out there, you have to show up for people. People show up for you.
Appearance matters.
It is very important.
Appearance
It's very
matters.
support. I didn't understand before I started doing music. I think I released my first song in 2019. I always tell people it's not because I'm the best singer. I do it because that's what I'm called to do.
Yeah.
Right? And I did it afraid. That's it. You have to do it the first time afraid, and then you get better. Learn.
Figure it out.
I didn't understand the importance of support until I put out my first song. And maybe somebody adds a comment. The way it goes so, like, or somebody shares it on their WhatsApp. Since that time, if any of my friends is doing anything, I will share.
Yeah.
Or I will add a comment, even if sometimes I might not even really know what you're doing, but I'll share. Or
Your presence
because it does
alone
a lot.
matters,
It takes
yeah.
a lot of courage to do anything. It takes some people. Sometimes people are spending, like you said, you don't even know if you're going to make the 20K. You don't know, and
But you
it's
go
faith.
out by faith.
Put that leg
Launch-
forward.
launch into the deep. Yeah.
Faith. And a lot of people that I know are like, oh God, I don't know. When I released my song, one of my friends said, if not that I'm her friend, she will say, who is this one that's releasing music again? You know, like, you don't have to do what you are called to do.
That's
do
it.
your own.
That's
Stay
it.
in your lane.
That's
don't think about what people will say or whatever. And there might be 20 of you.
Yeah.
Do your own.
Just do you.
Find things that would stand you out, that would, make you
Unique.
Yeah. Your niche, you will find you and things like that. I don't know. Is there anything you want to tell people out there? People coming, immigrants, maybe not necessarily into Canada, anyway.
So one of the things I always like to share with immigrants, especially when appearing as a public speaker and not just a master ceremony or a comedian, is put away the fear. I was working with somebody who has a bachelor's and a master's degree from Germany. He got a scholarship from the federal government of Nigeria, went to Germany, I think Germany or somewhere else. And guess what? As at that time that I met him, he was still not doing very well. Why? He was afraid. When I resigned from that job, a full-time permanent job, and took a part-time job with Canadian Red Cross, he was like, why? I'm like, listen, there are some jobs you put on your resume and it shoots you up. It's not about the pay. Sometimes take a 3-month role with KPMG. Adding that to your resume,
it pushes you.
Currently, I'm the regional health and safety coordinator for my company. Guess what?
Is that
Rocky Mountain Equipment.
Okay.
Guys, guess what? When I was about taking that job, I had better offers, but they were not going to be regional coordinators.
Okay.
So even though they would pay more,
but the title.
And guess what? Someone reached out to me on LinkedIn, offered me a role, and I sent my resume, and the person said, oh, this is just for one branch, but you do a region. Are you stepping down? I said, I'm just throwing my hat out there. He said, I know this pay will be better, but if I were you, I should be aiming for a general manager position or anything above.
Something higher. Okay.
And naturally, it sets you apart. So dare to dream.
Yeah.
Bro, take any job when you come. Warehouse job, Uber, anything. But do not stay there. My pastor says there are 2 types of job. There is a survivor job and there's other types of job. But some people come into Canada and because your survivor job is a full-time permanent job, you want to remain there. No. Sometimes if you do 1 year here, 6 months here, until you get to a stage where you say, okay, I want to remain here. Don't get too comfortable in the swimming pool, whereas you are a shark and you shouldn't be in the swimming pool and dare to dream. See, most times I talk to people and I tell them, I say, listen, I'm still dreaming. I'm still dreaming. Somebody sent me a message from the US one day around 2 a.m. Calgary time. He said, Sam, I know you will be awake. Let me share this with you. And I said, why do you think? He said, I know you. We did our master's degree together. He said, Sam, I know you. I know how you think. And I know that.
Brain, they work.
I know that if you're not even awake, when you wake up, you always think. If you think and you have the right people around you, you figure it out. And don't be afraid. So that's my message.
Don't be afraid. Fear does a lot. Nobody tells you you're not good enough. It tells you you can't make it. Just take. What's the worst that can happen?
Thank you.
What is the worst that can happen? Like even when I started singing, I still get afraid. But now it's just like, how do I manage it?
That's it.
Do whatever you want to do. Take that step.
That's it.
Find the information that you need. Do research. I'll work towards it. Just take that first step and then take the second one and keep going. That's
exactly.
It's been a beautiful, beautiful conversation with Sam.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. And I just wanted to say that I don't take this time for granted. I really appreciate that you gave us this time. And I'm sure that everyone did pick one thing or two. I'm sure you learned something. If you want to reach out to Sam, just let us know.
Lastly, before we round up,
okay.
There's a problem that I have been trying to solve in the African community.
Okay.
And that is linking people up with mentors.
Oh, right.
So if you're out there, you're trying to figure it out in your career, in your personal life, and you need a mentor. I know someone that has a bachelor's degree in human resource, and the person is busy working from home doing customer care job for the past 3 years.
Wow.
I'm like, even though you are doing that to survive, get someone like yourself who is in HR, who you can talk to, who points you in the right direction. How did I get into health and safety? I had health and safety background back home, right? But it wasn't something, but the person looked at me and said, with your personality, with your qualities, these are the courses you should take. I went, took the courses,
Can you imagine?
boom.
Just like that.
Right? And honestly, if you need a mentor, you need someone to connect you with the right people, with the right information, send me a DM on Instagram or on LinkedIn. I always try to respond. I may not respond immediately, or even send me a WhatsApp message.
Okay.
I always settle down, look at it, and always connect
We
people.
can, maybe if you have a link tree account or something, that link we'll just
Yes.
put in there. If people want to
Sounds
reach
good.
out to
I'll
you.
share with you.
I have a few questions for you before we let you go
Definitely.
today. So what is the funniest thing that has happened to you on stage?
Funniest thing that have happened to me on stage. So I was on a stage one time. I was invited as a comedian. I wrote my jokes, prepared for them. I went on stage and I blanked out.
Wow.
And guess what?
What?
It was AY Live here in Calgary.
Wow. like a big opportunity.
Bro. You know what
Wow.
it means when
Was
you...
it nerves?
It wasn't nerves. It
Okay.
was the organization. So what people do not know is artists need time to prepare. But you don't tell the person, okay, after
like
this
that.
person, you are next, right? So I was just, somebody, you have to go now, you have to go now.
Wow.
And I climbed on stage. I had to tell jokes that weren't funny.
Wow.
And when I was coming down from the stage, my wife was in the audience. She was like, what happened? This wasn't even part of what you planned to do. So please, if you are bringing anybody on your stage, prep, and organizers also give them enough time to also prepare to come on stage.
It's for any artist, actually. Singing,
Yes.
you can't just do bam. I have to
Exactly.
prepare my mind. I have to-
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying. Wow, wow, wow. But the good thing is you didn't stay there. You went back to do it again.
Exactly.
So you will fail. Sometimes it won't work, but don't stay there. Is what
By
we're
the
saying.
second
Cry
edition,
for 5 seconds.
by the second edition of the AY Live, I hosted the event and did a little bit of comedy. So I was in charge of the event, right?
No.
And somebody came to meet me and said, "Were you not the same
Same
guy
one.
last year?" I said,
That
"What
was
happened
not
last
funny."
year?" Right? And the lady was like, "I couldn't understand the joke." I'm like, "Are you for real?" It was an intelligent joke.
From last year.
That's why you did not
I
understand it.
see sense. Oh my God. I have another question. What is the craziest or the strangest fan request you've received? Because as I see you now, you get fan. Boku, boku.
The strangest fan request was a private session, a private performance session.
They say you should come for it.
Yes.
A guy or a girl?
In case you don't know,
I don't know.
if you're in the entertainment sector,
Explain.
you would see a lot of things, right? I try to the best of my ability that whenever I'm going for events, I wear my ring. But people don't even, they don't mind, right? And I'm like, okay, what is this going to be about? Can I get more details? He said, I'm paying you.
To come for
Yes. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I need to get the complete details.
wow.
That is why you see Nollywood and other people who are public figures. Bro, somebody might want to pay you crazy money to do crazy things. Will you be able to say, I'm sorry, this does not resonate with my faith, is not my person? You know the story that is going on right now by Lamborghini, right? Feidi she's not current. But
Who is
stuff
Lamborghini?
like
The guy in the US.
Don't worry. But people that are watching, they know the Lamborghini story with
okay. I
Burna
don't know
Boy,
this.
right?
Oh, but I don't know anything going on.
So- So
I
you
think I
you
know
will
the
get
story
you will
now.
get so many crazy things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you should be able to say
Yeah.
there are some things I cannot do, right? And most times people be like, oh, is it because you are religious? And it's like my comedy show, for example, I do not serve alcohol. And there's nothing I have not heard. I'm like, bring your own bottle if you want to. But I will not serve you alcohol. You know why? 3-4 years ago, I emceed Funny Bone and Kenny Black's show. As we were coming out from the show, guess what? Police surrounded the hall and they were testing people for alcohol and drugs. Why? They knew that they were predominantly black people there.
Oh, okay.
And you needed to see people being pulled over and their licenses were being suspended.
Wow.
Right? So it is always good. And I give people the reason. The reason is, 1, I'm a believer. 2, I want you to go home safe. Right? I don't want you driving when you're intoxicated. So when you get home, drink whatever you want to drink. But when you come to my comedy show, I don't serve alcohol. It's just my policy. And it's my show, so I can make those rules, right?
It's up to you.
It is what it is.
Do you have a signature joke that you're known for? Me, I know one. Me, I know one because at least I've seen you not
Do
one,
it.
not two.
Yeah, so there are some jokes that are yours, right? There are some that you pick from occurrences that happened around, right? My signature joke, most people don't actually know it, but I got that joke uniquely, and it's about cooking. Like, if you cook a pot of soup and there's too much pepper, what is it? If it's too much salt, what is this? If it's too much Maggi, what it is? That's one of my people know me by that. But
So
in the last 18 months, I don't think I've done it because I did it and people became conversant with it. That's why we always like audiences that don't know us too much, right? Because when you look around the audience, you're like, okay, 80% have seen me before, so you start thinking of something new. But my event yesterday, guess what? We had people from the UK, from the US, from BC, from Nova. Guess what? They were laughing at the jokes that I have told several times
here in Calgary.
Why the Calgarians are like, come on, Sam, give us something new. So I had to still bring something new for those people, right? Yeah, so I have a few signature jokes.
One more question. Hey, what's the craziest thing that's happened backstage?
Backstage? I think the craziest thing was having a torn pant. And guess what?
How did you mend it?
Not having a change of clothes.
Was your wife there?
No, I wasn't married then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so since that time till now, if I'm coming to your event, I have a change of clothes in my car. And guess what? In May, I'm actually hosting a public speaking masterclass with Alibaba and my public speaking mentor, who is white. And
how many mentors do you have?
Honestly, guess what?
When I grow up, I want to be like you.
Guess what?
How many?
The more mentors you have, the less mistakes you make. I posted something on Instagram one day. In less than 2 hours, somebody called me and said, delete it. And I said, why? He said, just delete it. We'll talk about it later. I'm busy right now. Just delete it. And I deleted it. And when this person explained to me why he said I should delete it, it made so much sense. Right? I have mentors who are younger than me.
It's not about age.
But people don't see it that way.
It's not about age.
See, people may have knowledge in certain areas that you do not have knowledge in.
True.
Be humble enough to say, even though he's 20 years younger than me, he can be your mentor in that particular aspect. So in May, for those people that want to become public speakers, master of ceremonies, comedian, I'm going to be having a public speaking masterclass with Alibaba, and that's my mentor. I don't have a date yet. Alibaba is going to be coming first week or first week of May.
Okay.
Yeah. So when
is your show?
May 30th, 2025. May 30th, 2025 is my evening of laughter with Sam Precious and friends. So once he arrives town and she checks her schedule, it's going to be a 2-hour session, right? Because Warren Buffett said something. He said, public speaking may be uncomfortable for you, but you need it if you want to be successful, no matter the line of work you are in. No matter the profession you are in. That's why you have Nigerians, they go into meetings, or immigrants go into meetings, and they're afraid to talk because of their accent. Bro, everybody have an accent. Everybody I have met, British, Europeans, I've been in
Canadians.
Europe, I've been to Canadians, because if a Canadian goes to Africa and speak, he has an accent to Africans. So be confident, right? And we're going to be sharing a few tips, right? I've done this for 19 years. Alibaba has done it for decades. This lady goes around the world speaking. And since she took me under her wing, she's like, Sam, you are more than just a comedian and a master of ceremony. Your public speaking skills are not being harnessed, right? And so 3 of us are going to be sharing the spotlight for 2 hours and spending time one-on-one with people before the show or the week after the show.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be sending out the details once we can finalize on it.
Sounds good. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much for
Sam.
having me. Please
Thank you.
share this video, like this page, subscribe. It takes a village, right? Have a wonderful one, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. And thank you, everyone, for sticking to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, add a comment, do something to
Life on
support
the
the show.
couch,
Because this is
fading, talk it all
Until next time on Life Chat with Fayidi, we say
Life on the couch,
bye for now.
stories we share.